This is climate change meeting with decades of underinvestment in infrastructure, and this is what's happening. We've had freeways that were flooded. We've had homes that were flooded.
Last week, Detroit experienced historic flooding following more than a half foot of rain over a 5-hour period. Now, as President Biden makes his way through Michigan this weekend and with an infrastructure bill in the works, one congresswoman is sounding the alarm to boost investments in water infrastructure, not just bridges and roads. And she joins me now. She is Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence of Michigan. Congresswoman Lawrence, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Same to you. So why is it important to you that people understand that infrastructure just isn't roads and bridges?
I'm from Michigan and had the unfortunate experience of the Flint water crisis and learned firsthand how drinking water and the lack of investment has created a physical, life-challenging situation in our country. It's a crisis. Flint is not the only place where water has been contaminated by lead pipes. And now we just recently went through this flooding where we had combined pipes for sewer and water, and then the rainwater pushed the sewer back into the homes, and we had flooding that water was rising to the ceiling of basements. You saw the pictures of the cars stalled on the highways. We have a crisis in America, and when we talk about infrastructure, I'm totally committed to that. But a pothole is an inconvenience. Drinking water is a necessity for life, and we must build, as President Biden has said, a climate resilient infrastructure.
You know, the American Society of Civil Engineers, Congresswoman, you probably know this, but for the audience, they did a report on Detroit's infrastructure, and the Detroit's infrastructure on the report card overall, as you see right there, got a D+. When it comes to dams, they got a C-, and when it comes to stormwater, it got a D-. What the report also points out is that the 21st Century Infrastructure Commission determined an additional $4 billion annually is needed to maintain the infrastructure there in Michigan. That's part of the problem that you're talking about. It's that the water infrastructure, the infrastructure related to water in Michigan and around the country is crumbling, and nothing's being done about it.
We have kicked this can down the road way too long. And there is, all of this anxiety to fix it and fix it now, which we must. One of the reasons why we had the flooding in Detroit is because we're prepared, our infrastructure, for 100-year storm system. Well, it's happening now every couple years, where the level of water that is being placed into our infrastructure is exceeding the capacity. We must invest. And this concept of a climate resilient infrastructure plan, where we're looking at our roads, we're looking at our bridges, we're looking at our water infrastructure, we're looking at our transit systems, we're looking at electrifying our roads, how we build buildings. My goodness, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening in Florida. We can do better. We must do better. Our lives are contingent in America on us in leadership in Congress and in the White House to come together and sign a bill that will protect the American people. And I am so excited to have a president who is making the investment in infrastructure not a talking point, but an action item. And he has laid out the framework. Now it's time for Congress to get together and make the plan, fund it, and get it started.
I got to get you on two things, but one of them is this. How confident are you that Congress, you and your colleagues on both ends of the U.S. Capitol, can get an infrastructure bill passed and on the president's desk for a signature?
Well, I keep hope alive. I want you to know that the stimulus package that we passed as a Congress, how amazing is that? That we actually did our job. We came together and we invested in the American people during a pandemic. We have done it. We have a pathway that we can get this done again. I'm so proud of the bipartisan efforts, but at the end of the day, this is not about someone's political reelectability. This is about getting the job done. I led a letter to the congressional leadership, Pelosi, Schumer, McCarthy. I need you all to know that investment in our water infrastructure should not be an afterthought. It should be in the mainstream of our commitment to the American people. Again, water is a necessity for life.
And Congresswomen, in less than 30 seconds, on this 4th of July, what does America mean to you?
America means to me a place that I truly love America, even though she didn't love me back. There's been times throughout history where America has hated me or abused me or enslaved me because of the color of my skin, because of my sex being a woman. But I believe, because I've seen throughout history where American people have come together and demanded change, and our democracy support the opportunity to change it. It only works when Americans stand up, use their voice, use their power, their vote. And this democracy works when we engage and get it done. So happy 4th of July to everyone. We're not perfect, but I can tell you, this is one of the best democracies in the world.
Hear, hear. Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence of Michigan, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.